I'm very curious to see what the weekend is going to bring us. So far, it's brought us a lot of green throughout the space. ADA is actually green on the daily, sitting right on the edge of its trend. And that's not really surprising after we had the drops that we had in the market yesterday. But what I will say here is there are a couple things that are okay in the market. Obviously, I want to talk about where ADA's at and what might be happening next here as well. But I do want to talk about just a couple things in the market that give me a little bit of pause heading forward here, which some people don't like to hear, but we need to obviously look at things on both sides. And I do want to talk about some things that might be coming in the near term that people may not be anticipating. So if you guys are new or haven't already, show your support for the channel down below. It's been growing like crazy. And guys, it's all because of you. Now, what I will say here is, again, ADA sitting on the edge of its trend is okay. We've been putzing around with this trend every single day for the last 4 days, and ADA is going to have to make a decision at some point, right? We can't just continue following this forever. I guess theoretically we could, but the charts don't like to do that. They like to make a decision one way or the other. So yesterday, again, looks like a little bit of a fake out, not really dropping on much in terms of news, nothing really new per se that should have shaken the market. So it seems like it was a little bit of a bear trap, a washout, but we'll see how retail sentiment digests this, right? I will say ADA right now actually is very oversold on the daily stochastic RSI. That's good. We need a little bit of a reset here that tends to lead towards, again, some of our pumps in the crypto market. We'll see how this progresses. We did actually come down and hit oversold on our RSI, which we have not done since all the way back in, February, early February, after our market-wide liquidation event, big black swan event in the crypto market. So we'll see if we can get a little bit of a rebound like we experienced at that point. What I will say here too is in terms of BTC, we're currently sitting at about 103,850 at the time of filming this video. We did fall out of structure here, that big bull pennant that we were building, and we're actually retesting the bottom of it right now. We did a good job of closing above our 50-day moving average. That's not a bad spot to be. That's one of those things that's okay in the market. Again, very oversold on the daily stochastic RSI. That's great. What I will say on the weekly here in terms of BTC is that when we have these pumps in the market, these big extensions like we experienced basically, from the end of March through, what was that? The end of May, we tend to have these moments where the market takes a breath. And it kind of waits for this 20-week moving average to catch up, our bull market support band. And we can see this many times in recent history. We saw this obviously in late 2024 as we had our election pump. We saw this in obviously early 2024 as the whole market was running. But, sometimes we have to wait for this to at least get close before we start making some more extended moves. You guys can see that back here. And what this might mean is that we have another week or two of just blah in the market. Not saying that has to happen for sure. And there's a couple other things I want to talk about here as well, but that's kind of where we're at. The market's waiting for again, I guess a sentiment decision, if you will, to decide what direction we're going to head. I will say yesterday was kind of a nothing day from institutional money. Net day of $6.37 million on the BTC side. Very small. One of the smallest days we've seen in recent history. I will say also on the Ethereum side, it was an $11 million outflow day. So again, nothing big there, not any crazy decisions being made in the market. And again, this kind of seems like the market just taking its breath as we head into the weekend before we prepare for next week. Now, I will say here, BTC dominance is at about 65%. Right now, it's again looking for a moment to break down. It looks like we may in fact create a little bit of a double top here at about 65.40. Not saying that has to happen for sure, but that's the path it's on right now. Just not enough retail confidence in the market. And really one thing that's showing this kind of lack of retail confidence is ETH BTC. This is the thing that does give me a little bit of concern here. The reason why I'm saying that is we've been very much tracking what it's done compared to all the way back here in 2019. We were building a similar bull pennant. We actually had a break to the downside. Right now, in terms of the charts, guys, we do have, in fact, a break to the downside. It's not an extended break yet. We are actually retesting this 50-day moving average. So I would like to see us get back above here. If we do not, then we probably do have a little bit of downside coming here in ETH versus BTC, which is obviously not great for altcoins. That's where you could still see some altcoin weakness, some questions there, but it's again, there's a lot of things that can change in that time. We obviously know there's been a lot of injections of news into the market. The big one as of late has obviously been, war and concerns surrounding that. And I think that, again, has put the market kind of on edge here, people being very reactionary at this time. But this is the big one to watch, right? If we can obviously get a surge back to the upside, back within trend and break to the upside, we're going to be in great shape. If we just kind of putz around here, that's okay. But if we do get a break to the downside, expect some potential retracement from alts. All right. Now, what I did want to point out too yesterday is that we did in fact have a CoinMarketCap front end hack. So everybody just be aware of that. If you do have your wallets connected to CoinMarketCap, I would strongly suggest disconnecting them. That's up to you. This isn't, advice or anything like that. You can do whatever you want, but I tend to not leave any wallets connected to websites for this reason exactly. They're basically fishing for private keys, so just be aware of that. Now, here's one thing that was actually a little bit of good news yesterday. The Federal Reserve's Christopher Waller said they could cut rates as early as the July meeting. And what that means, guys, right now it's June 21st. We could potentially be having rate cuts next month. Not saying it's a big one, but the big thing that people need to understand is that the US has been lagging behind so much in terms of interest rates. I mean, for example, Switzerland at 0.25%. Not saying that we need to go there. I think we'd have an inflation problem at that point. But the US is very shortly going to start chipping away at this, whether it's a quarter point decrease, half point decrease, whatever it may be. And this will, in fact, stimulate markets. That tends to be how it works. But, something to at least have a little bit of a silver lining on what we've been dealing with lately. So that's just what I'm watching right now. Again, we really need to hold structure. Otherwise, we could have some potential downside. I will say I did do some buying around the crypto market this morning. I'm loving the discounts that we're seeing. And again, I keep talking about how this is all short-term noise, and it truly is. I still remember us dealing with this many times in this market cycle alone, people freaking out, getting bearish, saying that we're just falling into a bear market, nothing's good is coming this year, kick it down the road, next market cycle. And that's when the market tends to surprise people. It's when it tends to go on these runs out of nowhere and people are wondering what the hell happened. And it's because during these times, you see large entities accumulating, building their positions, and basically, I won't say stealing from retail, but stealing from retail. People just making bad decisions. And you can do whatever you want, right? I've always said, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not here to tell you what to do. Me personally, I bought extreme lows. I bought during this market cycle. I bought more, even on this dip that we're experiencing now. And I just keep preparing for the big wave that's about to come. I want to remind everybody, I think like I did yesterday, we're at 5 to 6% of the world in crypto. It's going to be a lot more by the end of this cycle. So I appreciate you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts. What do you think we're going to get as we progress through the weekend? It sounds like there are potential peace talks abroad. I'm not putting anything in that basket yet until we see something more concrete. So appreciate you guys. Have a great day. Show your love below. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.